Yes, people, welcome back to my channel. Romario Webster here. And before we get into today's video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Currently 293 subscribers. I'm happy with that, but we need more. We need more. So if you're watching this video, please drop me a subscribe, like, turn on your notifications, and you'll see all the content I'm dropping. But Today we're discussing Noni Madueke. We'll talk a little bit about Viktor Gyokeres and Christian Norgaard as well, and any other sort of transfer business. But Noni Madueke, the news has really picked up in the last few days. Yesterday, David Ornstein and Fabrizio Romano, they were both at it again, and David Ornstein made this tweet. Arsenal make contact with Chelsea over move for Noni Madueke. Clubs now in talks after 23-year-old Chelsea winger agree personal terms on proposed 5-year contract. No deal yet, but England international prioritising Arsenal above any other interested side. Now, David Ornstein said it as clear as it is. Arsenal have submitted a bid of £50 million. That includes add-ons, and the reports are Chelsea want more. Chelsea aren't happy with that bid. And if I was Arsenal, I'd stop there. And to be honest, I've spoken about this before. I maybe was a bit too reactionary, but I just don't think this is a good signing for Arsenal. I just think the price tag, the fact Chelsea want more money, little things like the fact they reportedly inquired about Max Dowman's availability, who, if people aren't familiar with him, he's a 15-year-old wonder kid, currently training with the first team, towards the end of last season as well. It's just cheeky. It's a bit cheeky to me. Chelsea are one of our main rivals, and I just struggle to make sense of how this benefits us, really. Now, Madueke is not a bad player. I just want to make that clear. I don't think Madueke is a bad player. I just don't think he's worth 50 million plus, which is what Chelsea want. And especially in a summer window where we're coming off the back of our third season, finishing second place. Liverpool, of course, won the league deservingly. And for us to go into the summer, we're going to talk about Viktor Gyokeres shortly, but for us to be pushing this hard for one of our main rivals, Chelsea, who finished fourth, they're only 2 places behind us, and they actually had a really good start to last season before they sort of tailed off around Christmas. But for us to sign a player that they don't want and then give them the money they want, already bidding 50 million. I'm hearing that Eze, the club, are looking to try and pay the £60 million release clause in instalments. And then I see us bidding £50 million, obviously including add-ons. So it's probably £40 to £45 million up front with the rest in add-ons. I'm struggling to understand why we're so convinced by this signing. Another reason this doesn't actually make sense to me is Chelsea were actually punished by UEFA for breaching their financial rules. Now, Time Sport reported earlier on in the week that Chelsea must raise more than £60 million in player sales to register all their new arrivals in the Champions League next season. Now, if we're going to sign Noni Madueke for £50 million plus, not only are we, for me, paying over the odds for the player, we're actually helping our rival meet their financial restrictions with UEFA. And that, I know football's not as simple as that. It's not that simple, but sometimes it's just like, you bought Kai Havertz off them when they needed to sell players. We bought Jorginho when they needed to sell players, which, to be honest, weren't bad signings. We've taken David Luiz, Willian. It's just the continual taking Chelsea's players that they don't want, especially when we finished above them. We finished above Chelsea for the last 3 seasons, and we're going after players that they don't want. It screams backwards thinking for me. And we were initially interested in Jamie Bino-Gittins. I don't think he's the answer either. Because I'm of the feeling that if we sign Noni Madueke for £50 million plus, I don't believe we sign Rodrigo and Eze. I believe it will be one of the two. I think it's more likely to be Eze, which I'm not mad at. I think Eze will be a good addition. However, it makes me worry, is Noni Madueke then coming in to actually push to start at left wing? It's been reported that Mikel Arteta admires Noni Madueke's versatility to be able to play on both wings, and I just don't feel comfortable with that. It screams, here you go, here's Noni Madueke, we're still interested in Rodrigo. Get to the end of the window, we just couldn't get a deal done. But we got Noni Madueke who can play on both sides. I can just see it now. And listen, if Noni Madueke joins the club, I'm going to support him. I hope he does well. Obviously, you want him to do well, because if he does well, the club does well. And I don't think Noni Madueke is a bad player. It's just everything I've said. Why would you bid £50 million for Noni Madueke? Sorry, give me a moment. I'm just trying to work it out. I'm trying to make sense of it. And I can't. Also, on Rodrigo, he started on the bench for Real Madrid 5 games in a row at the Club World Cup. Real Madrid were knocked out, 4-0 defeat to PSG, who, by the way, PSG are a ridiculous side. They just look unstoppable. We saw that when we played them in the Champions League this season. But surely you wait and you just see what Rodrigo's saying and see what Rodrigo thinks. Because for me, by the way, Rodrigo's a top player. I don't think he's crazy good. I don't think he's world class. I don't think he's like you sign him and you just elevate instantly. But I think he's better than what we have. With Noni Madueke, I don't think he's better than what we have. I think Martinelli's as good, if not better. And I think Trossard's better. He's definitely more efficient at this stage in his career than Noni Madueke. So for me, we should be trying to prioritise Rodrigo and looking at what's his situation. Is he actually comfortable being second fiddle to the likes of Brahim Diaz, Arda Güler, Gonzalo Garcia, the striker that's come out of Real Madrid's youth team, has started every game at the Club World Cup. Rodrigo hasn't started for 5. So for me, Rodrigo's the player we should be going for many reasons. I think he's better than Madueke. It's something new. I really think Arsenal are at the stage where we need something exciting. Viktor Gyokeres is that, who we are going to move on to. But
went wrong. Please try again.
Siri interrupted me there. This is what Fabrizio Romano said following that defeat to PSG. Real Madrid and Rodrigo's camp will discuss about future from next week. Decision will be up to Rodrigo, as Real Madrid are open to accept exit if the player decides to leave. Rodrigo has not made Real Madrid starting 11 at the Club World Cup for 5 consecutive games. When a club says they're open to the exit, which Chelsea is saying with Madueke, they're saying, listen, we don't really want to sell him, but if he wants to go, we'll sell him, but this is our price. It's similar with Rodrigo and Real Madrid. They probably don't need to sell him, but if the price is met, which is reported to be £77 million, then they're open to selling him. That's where I think we should be looking. And I'll be honest, if Arsenal do sign Madueke, Viktor Gyokeres, Eberechi Eze and Rodrigo, I think it's probably actually overkill. I don't think we need all 4. And that's where my concern lays, is I think the club think the same. I don't think they believe we need all those 4 players. I think it's Madueke or Rodrigo. I think Eze will join. I think Viktor Gyokeres will join. But yeah, let's see what happens. Noni Madueke, £50 million bid has been put in. It's reported that that's basically been rejected. Chelsea want 50 million guaranteed, a fixed fee with add-ons included. So you're heading towards £60 million. Yeah, man. And even Anthony Elanga's just joined Newcastle for 55. Do I think Anthony Elanga's worth 55 million? Not really, but I probably would have rather Arsenal signed Anthony Elanga for 55 million than Madueke. Mainly because Arsenal and Nottingham Forest obviously have no rivalry at all. And Anthony Elanga's quite an exciting player. He had a very good season last year for Nottingham Forest. Helped them get into Europe. And it's just not another unwanted Chelsea player. So yeah, that's my opinion. Noni Madueke, if you join Arsenal, we're all behind you. But the last thing I'll say on this is the reaction online probably has been over the top. I mean, I've been a bit reactionary with it. But it's more just the money, the price for the player that I don't get. But there's been like hashtags no to Madueke, all of that. I do worry. I think if Noni Madueke sees this, surely he doesn't feel comfortable coming to the club. I don't know. Do players see this? They're on social media, so I wouldn't be surprised if you've seen these sort of hashtags. And I'll be honest, I've never seen the fan base so united against signing one player. I remember when we were signing Aaron Ramsdale, people were pretty confused about that because essentially Aaron Ramsdale was coming in to replace Bernd Leno, and Emi Martinez had just been sold, and he obviously went on to do what he's done. So that didn't always go down well. But Aaron Ramsdale was a good player for the club. Kai Havertz, obviously that caused a bit of unrest, but Kai Havertz happened so quickly that I think there wasn't really that time to build up the stress and the anxiety. But because this Madueke deal seems to be dragging on, and the reports alongside Gyokeres are about to move on to where we're stalling there, I think that's where the concern comes from. Which nicely moves me on to Viktor Gyokeres. Since Sunday, where it was reported from David Ornstein, Hand of Arsenal, Fabrizio Romano, all the major transfer ITKs, that Viktor Gyokeres and Arsenal are getting closer to agreeing a deal. Well, Arsenal and Viktor Gyokeres have agreed a deal on personal terms, 5-year contract. It's actually reported that Viktor Gyokeres will get 200 grand a week, which I actually think is quite good for a player who scored as many goals as he has. But it seems like we're haggling with Sporting Lisbon over €5 million. Not even pounds, €5 million. Sporting Lisbon wants €70 million guaranteed. Arsenal reportedly bid €60 million guaranteed, where with add-ons it can go over 70 million. Now, for me, I just don't understand why we're haggling Sporting Lisbon over such a minor amount of money to a club like Arsenal. Why are we so ready to bid £50 million for Noni Madueke, yet Viktor Gyokeres, the striker that we need, goals that we need, we're haggling over little bits of money. Viktor Gyokeres has actually sacrificed €2 million, I believe, from his own contract, his own salary, to try and help facilitate this move. What point does it get where Viktor Gyokeres gets annoyed with us that we're sort of stalling? Now, I'm cautious of being patient here. I don't want to go over the top and suggest that we're going to mess up the deal. It's a deal I think will still get done, but I'd just like us to get it done. Let's just move quickly. Let's just be efficient. Get Viktor Gyokeres in. He wants us. We want him. Pay them the money. We're already getting a deal that is under his release clause. So, for me, I hope it happens. Now, Hand of Arsenal tweeted this morning, and this is what he said. Hand of Arsenal, if you're not familiar, has been brilliant this transfer window. He's sort of come out of nowhere for me anyway, and he seems to get it right. My understanding as of yesterday night was that talks remain positive between Arsenal and Sporting CP. Gyokeres told the president yesterday he won't be returning to pre-season again. Very important to stress, no club-to-club agreement yet. Arsenal have backup options. That last sentence worries me. Arsenal have backup options. What do you mean we have backup? Obviously, it's good to have backup options in this sort of business of transfer dealings, because you don't know which clubs can come in. But Viktor Gyokeres only wants Arsenal, so that cancels out that worry of, you know, like Mudryk got taken off us by Chelsea. It's happened before. We're not at a point where... I don't think Arsenal are at a point where we can be going for backup options. Reportedly, Benjamin Sesko was our priority. So if you look at it like that, Viktor Gyokeres technically is a backup option anyway, but he's not really a backup option. Andrea Berta's a big fan of him. It's been reported. So between the recruitment team, they like him. Now, I can't imagine how Arsenal fans react online, because to be honest, it's all online. Who knows? Would it go to react? Would people riot in person? We've seen it with Arsenal fans before, but if Arsenal pivot away from Viktor Gyokeres, get a backup striker, which would probably be an Ollie Watkins. God forbid it's Nicholas Jackson. I hope that's not real, but it was reported Arsenal are interested in Nicholas Jackson as well. I think it will create a huge distance between the fan base and the club. I just don't think the fans would accept that. Like, Viktor Gyokeres, a deal's there to be done. It's actually been made so easy by the player. The club aren't being the easiest, but they have reduced their own demands in terms of the release clause. So I think we've got to play ball a bit. Let's just get the deal done. Arsenal can move on. Sporting Lisbon can move on. Viktor Gyokeres joins us ahead of our pre-season. But let's see what happens. Do I think Viktor Gyokeres will join Arsenal? Yes, but I'm getting a bit uncomfortable, if I'm honest. And lastly, for today's video, Arsenal have announced Christian Norgaard is signed for the club. The 31-year-old signs a 2-year deal with an option of 1 year extra. The fee's around £10 million, £5 million in add-ons. He takes the number 16 shirt. I'm trying to think who wore number 16 last. I can't think. I know Aaron Ramsey wore 16 for a period. I can't think of what. Maybe it was Aaron Ramsey. I'm trying to think. Maybe you let me know in the comments below. But yeah, Christian Norgaard joins the club, coming as a replacement to Jorginho and Thomas Partey. So it's a good signing. It's a signing we need. Goes alongside Zubimendi in that defensive midfield area. Marino can play there. Declan Rice can play there. So it's a good signing. Hopefully Christian Norgaard does well at the club. He brings a lot of experience, a lot of Premier League experience, a captain at Brentford. So a bit of leadership that we probably need. So yeah, I welcome Christian Norgaard. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Hopefully there's some more updates today. Hopefully we get a Viktor Gyokeres. Here we go from Fabrizio Romano, Ornstein Bomber. Hopefully we get one of them. But yeah, that's it from me today, guys. Please make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. I'm actually got a video dropping this Sunday, hopefully Sunday evening. It'll be my Arsenal Dream Team 11 for the start of the season. Not really Dream Team, but the players I want us to start the season with. I'll also do a realistic 11, the team that I think we'll put out based on the transfers we're looking at, the transfers we made. So like, subscribe so you know when that video drops, turn on your notifications, and YouTube will let you know when that video's out. But yeah, we're on 293 subscribers. everyone who's subscribed so far, thank you very much. If you haven't, make sure you hit that button, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Peace.